Presenting the story of Wings of Eagles, the Joseph Alvarez Organization for Seriously Ill Children. Introducing Georgia Alvarez, President and Founder and former Director of Wings of Eagles.
My son Joseph was 8.5 years old when he was diagnosed in August of '89 with a rare and terminal form of leukemia. So Joseph had his bone marrow transplant in November of '89 at Stanford Children's Hospital in Palo Alto. Joseph had a really rough time. He didn't do well with the chemo or the radiation or any of the drugs that they were giving him. He was very sick. But he did manage to go into remission for 10 months. And we got to come home right around Joseph's birthday in February of '90. But the whole time that we were gone and the whole time that Joseph went through his ordeal, the whole community and our family and friends from Princeton, Nord, Colusa, Chico, everybody rallied around us and they did fundraisers for us and they helped us pay our bills. And it was just wonderful. And the one thing that we noticed when we were traveling from different hospitals, because Joseph was at several different hospitals, that the people that we came in contact with who had children with cancer, they did not have the kind of support that we had. And unfortunately, after 10 months of remission, Joseph relapsed in September of '90, and then he died 4 months later in January of '91. The community even came to our aid and helped pay for the funeral expenses. So after my husband and I got our strength back, because it took a while, because it was really devastating for us, we decided that we were going to do something for other families that were in our same situation that we were in, but we didn't know how to do it. So it just hit us one day that we would start a nonprofit organization in Joseph's memory, and we would call it Wings of Eagles, the Joseph Alvarez Organization for Seriously Ill Children.
The current director, Terry Thunborg, was recently quoted in the Chico Enterprise Record. We serve mainly middle-income families who aren't eligible for other programs. We can help them with groceries, utility bills, and car repairs. We give families prepaid gas cards to make it easier for them to visit their children when they're in hospitals in Sacramento or the Bay Area. With gas prices the way they are, it's so expensive to drive to the hospitals and then back to Chico. We can arrange for families to stay in temporary housing, such as Ronald McDonald houses. We would like to introduce some of the families that have benefited from the help that your generosity has made possible.
My son was Christopher Henderson. He had a type of cancer in his brain. It was called oligodendroglioma. It's a very rare type of brain cancer. He did pass away from the cancer. We had a really long struggle. It was about 9 years. And along those 9 years, Wings was there. They helped us a lot. Really a lot.
Back in November, this last November 2006, Brennan was diagnosed with ALL, leukemia. And about 2 months after we were released from the hospital, so it was probably about February, I believe, a friend of mine got in contact with Wings of Eagle and referred us, and I received a phone call from Terry.
My daughter Jessica was born with cystic fibrosis. It is a terminal lung disease. She was diagnosed at 15 months old, and ever since then she's been in and out of hospitals more times than I can even count. She got a fatal bug in 2002 and actually 2003, sorry. 2004 she had a double lung transplant at Children's Hospital Los Angeles, and she has been dealing with that and also has developed diabetes. So it's been a struggle for her. She hasn't been able to go to school a lot, but she's a big fighter. We met with Wings of Eagle when Jessica was, I don't know how old she was. A friend of ours knew about it, so they told us about Wings of Eagle when we were in the hospital. And being a single parent with 2 children, they thought it would be something that would be good for us to help us out a little bit. So we've been with them ever since.
Sarah sees a pediatric endocrinologist at UC Davis. And so we've gone to their outpatient clinics. She's also been hospitalized at UC Davis. And then last August she met up with a geneticist at Lucille Packard Children's Hospital. And so she went there for a 19-day inpatient stay and had a workup there. And then we've had a couple of outpatient clinic visits there in San Francisco as well. So we try to do as much as we can locally with Dr. Tedford, but sometimes it requires some testing and clinical services that you can't do here in Chico. And so we travel, and I call Terry up and she makes sure that we have gas to get there and home. I had to take some time off work for doctor's appointments, and Sarah had a 19-day stay at Lucille Packard Children's Hospital, and I couldn't pay my bills. So my mom was trying to come up with a way to do a car wash, get something started to help us so that I could make rent. And she started researching online how you hook up with a foundation or something, and she found the Wings of Eagles. And so as soon as I got to where Terry works, she had a bag all ready for us. She had gas cards, a card from Safeway, so we got to get groceries, and a phone number so that I could call her anytime. And it just got better. Got easier.
Georgia, she called us before we even went down to San Francisco the very first time. She called us and answered all of our questions that we had, because we had a lot of them. And she also handed us it was a box full of stuff that we probably forgot when we went down to San Francisco, full of gas cards and phone cards and toothpaste and all that stuff. And it was just nice to have. And so we got in with her through that. And like I said, she was the first one that called us. Get the gas cards was a big thing driving down to San Francisco. Phone cards, calling from the hospital.
I had a cancer called osteosarcoma. It was a bone cancer, and it was in the knee. I didn't know that I had cancer until after I broke my leg. While they were in UC Davis, they took a sample of my bone and a sample of my skin. They tested it out and figured out I had cancer. I stayed with UC Davis for a while, and my parents didn't think it was so great. So we moved to Southern Memorial Hospital, where I received chemotherapy. And then after a while, they couldn't took care of me anymore. They said it was kind of big, so they shipped me off to UC San Francisco, much bigger hospital, so better technologies. And down there is when I had my final surgery, which was the amputation surgery. It was a hard decision for it to be amputated, but it was a good decision anyway. While we were down there, we heard some great things, and especially from our social workers. And then they taught us about Wings of Eagle.
Wings of Eagles participates in several events throughout the year as an outreach for fundraising and an opportunity for the kids to just have a good time. Some of these are our annual Bowl-a-thon, the Chico Hog Spring Poker Run, the Matt Daly Memorial Softball Tournament, Easter baskets, our annual dinner, Thanksgiving dinners, and Christmas gifts and an evening of fun at Chuck E. Cheese. Since its founding in 1993, over 1,000 families have been served by Wings of Eagles. Over $3 million has been raised to help families in need. Only 13% of our budget goes to administrative costs. Currently, 40 to 45 families are being helped each month. Over $70,000 will be given out in direct family aid this year alone. During the course of our conversations with these families and seriously ill children, the overriding theme of each of them was one of hope, strength, and thanks. to each of the staff of Wings of Eagles and the contributors who have made their lives just a little bit easier.
No words can describe Wings of Eagles. I think Wings of Eagles is the best program in the northern states. It provides families what they need, and it's been helping us a lot.
On behalf of the families served by Wings of Eagles, thank you for all you do.
Thank you for the time.